When I first started, this was my first tool. Not this one in particular, but test light, you know. Computers weren't really coming along, not yet. So this guy right here pretty much got you through everything. Of course, the meter was around, but nobody really used it, you know, because you could do almost everything with a test light. Cars weren't as sensitive as they are now. So, you know, after the test light, I always had a meter, you know, mainly because I had the old Craftsman with the needle. And we used to have a meter mainly for dwell, which was setting the points on a, you know, old school ignition system. But I guess the next tool I got was this guy, the Power Probe. This particular one I've had for, I think, 10 years now. I could be wrong. You know, it works on 12 and 24. If you know what you're doing, it's a good tool. If you don't know what you're doing, this tool can cause a lot of mess. Not the fault of the tool by any means. It's just, you know, like a lot of things in life. You know, it's the person using it, right? So if you know what you're doing, great tool. If you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna make a big mess. In today's world, really honestly, I feel this is what you got to have, a multimeter. Whether you use a, you know, Snap-on or whatever, Klein, whatever. But I'm a big believer in this brand, Fluke. Have an 88, kind of expensive. I've had this meter for about 2 years. Before that, I had a Fluke for 12 years, and I sent it in. They sent me this back, brand new, no questions asked. Okay, you know. So Fluke, I do have a clamp on. I have a Fluke too. And you know, that's been my setup for a lot of years. Of course, I've got the fuse buddy, which it measures amps through using the fuse. It's a little bit quicker, and sometimes, you know, I like to see exactly how many amps. I can see that here, but you know, this right here serves a purpose that I like, even though I've got this guy for amps and I've also got this guy for amps. But sometimes just going right at the fuse, you know, saves a lot of which wire do you grab onto. So I like this guy for certain things, but I have this guy for a lot of things, and I have this guy for other things. Fluke multimeter is my choice, but really, guys, today's world, this is what you got to be starting with right here. Multimeter. It does everything. Amps, voltage, volt drop. It does so many things only if you're capable of using it. So I was going to upgrade, and I was undecided between a Power Probe product called the Hook or looking around for a scope. I looked at Snap-on Vantage. I looked at some other stuff. And I got this guy. He was on the tool truck. Tool guy made me a pretty good deal on it. And, you know, it's a scope. It's not a graphing meter. It's a scope. It can graph. And this is the way of the future. This guy is good. This guy is 100 times better as far as testing abilities than this. Maybe down the road I'll pony up and I'll buy a Fluke scope. You know, they're pretty 3 times more than, maybe 4 times more than what this cost me. I bought this for the price and the learning curve. When I'm fully capable of doing everything this thing is capable of doing, then I'm gonna look at either a Pico or a Fluke. You know, this is a 2-channel scope, and it's come in handy so far. I mean, I'm learning as I'm going, but you know, it's important to be able to maximize your tools. So right now I'm trying to maximize everything I can do with this thing, and I'm not there yet. So anyway, that's an overview of what I think every technician's toolbox should have, you know, and just go from there. But just some insight.